It's Monday night, it's 8 o'clock, you know what that means, Monday night golf night. Good evening and welcome to Monday Night Golf Night. I'm your host, The Tall Golfer, and let's get started. The news dropped shortly after we had recorded last week's episode that the players finishing 126 to 200th on the FedEx Cup standings this year would be allocated DP World Tour membership. The DP World Tour tried to justify this with claiming there would be restrictions for those players. This has highlighted to me what most have known for quite a while. The DP World Tour is clearly a feeder tour for the PGA Tour. Well played, Keith Pelly. We cannot live in the glory years of the 80s and 90s when the European Tour had a golden era of high quality players that stayed loyal to the Tour. Times have changed and the Tour had to evolve, and of course the money offered to play the PGA Tour and the benefits of having a fixed base alongside high quality fields meant the European Tour had to have a different strategy. This strategy started to look like they would develop players and fans could watch these players develop and progress to the top of the game. The prime example of this was Brooks Koepka. He qualified for the Challenge Tour. I remember watching him thinking, this guy can play, but how'd you say his name? He then progressed to the DP World Tour, and I remember watching the Waste Management, and Brooks looked so comfortable winning. We all know what Brooks has done since. I now question what the motivation is for a young player who clearly has the skill and talent to progress through the Challenge Tour and become a real force in golf, when they are going to then be limited on starts at the next level and their progress stifled, all because of politics and a domination from one tour. The same tour that clearly does not have the best interests of the game at heart and only wants to protect a select few. The PGA Tour is a phenomenal product and we love to watch it. And it does a lot of good for a lot of people, it really does. But for a tour that was built for the players, I feel it has lost its way. The PR people on the PGA will of course argue this and spin the positives, but I have heard and read about the lack of opportunity for players for some time now. There was the tweets last year that went viral about how in the last 10 years the price for a pro trying to get onto the PGA Tour at qualifying had now become ludicrously expensive and no longer guaranteed a place on the PGA Tour, but was for a place on the feeder tour, the Corn Ferry Tour. That is not me belittling or implying the Corn Ferry Tour is inferior in any way. There are many great players on that tour, but even their chances are now becoming slimmer. All in all, I am extremely angry with this decision and feel both the PGA Tour and DP World Tour are not growing the game and supporting future generations. The story that dropped in the UK late Friday, early Saturday about the PGA Tour rejecting private investment due to not having full control, back up my views. As always, please let me know your thoughts on this story and keep them suitable. News broke on Thursday of the LIV promotion event that will be 3 days, 4 rounds with not only a $1.5 million pot, but $200,000 to first place, $150,000 for second, and $100,000 for third, with the top 3 gaining LIV status next season. LIV have set out a series of criteria that enables players to be eligible, and if you meet them, I think you would be stupid not to enter. LIV seems to be growing stronger and stronger, especially with the earlier news about the DP World Tour and PGA Tour. I assume after the promotion event, LIV team captains will start to assemble their teams, and I think it is well publicised that Team Smash, captained by Brooks Koepka, will need a player as Matthew Wolff will be traded, released. I look forward to seeing the picks and team movement. My second rant this week is on the news from down under. Moore Park Golf Club in Sydney is having some of the course transformed into a public park. This is a public course and the third busiest golf course in Australia. Please leave our golf courses alone and support them. Golf is the game for all. And for reading up on the story, there are other developments around Sydney better suited. The story is starting to sound a little familiar to home with Swinton Park Golf Club. I never managed to actually play Swinton Park due to other commitments, but I never heard a bad word said about the course or club. It's shut down due to greed and nothing more. The last I heard, the land was not sold and just left to itself. What a shame. If you know any more on either the Moore Park or the Swinton Park stories, please let me know. On to the golf now, and starting with the Ladies European Tour and another Aramco Series event, this time in Saudi Arabia at the Riyadh Golf Club, sponsored by PIF. Strangely, there has been no mention of sports washing, links to terrorism, or even suspensions, and all the other labels associated with the players who played in other PIF events. If any player who has played in a PIF event or Saudi Arabian event and has experience of the hypocrisy is listening, please let us know your thoughts and experiences. The first round was a breeze for Alison Lee, who who went round in 61 blows for an 11 under round. Hats off, well played Alison. Minjee Lee though was hot on her tails, 9 under par and continuing from where she left off last week. Round 2, and wow, Alison Lee take a bow. In most cases when a player shoots a low round they do not follow it up, but Alison Lee shot the same score again to set a Ladies European Tour record, back-to-back 61s for a total of 22 under par and a 6-shot lead. Phenomenal. Carlota Ciganda shot an impressive 9 under par round to sit in second place, and England's own Charlie Hull was in the tie for 5th at 12 under. On the team event of 3 professionals and 1 amateur, it was Team Ciganda who won. Carlota definitely helped her team, but they all get in on the act, scoring 23 birdies and an eagle. Impressive stuff. A mention must go to Alessandra Finale, Sara Kuskova and the team's amateur Lujain Khalil. Great golf. The final round, and it really was a poor display from Alison Lee, who could only manage a 65-7 under round today. You must have bet a young lady. Obviously, I am joking, and massive congratulations to Alison. Anybody finishing 29 under par for 3 rounds of golf has played phenomenal golf. Before any male golfers get on their high keyboard and start, no you wouldn't shoot that. Just because you shot level gross once at mini golf, please don't start, and just agree it was great golf. Carlota Ciganda finished in second place, 8 shots back, with England's Charlie Hull finishing third. The quality of Lee though meant most of the field needed snookers. The DP World Tour was in Qatar for the Commercial Bank Qatar Masters. Again, not so long ago, Qatar was being boycotted and bad-mouthed, but all of a sudden silence. Historically, this tournament takes place earlier in the year, and the wind can make it a difficult 4 days. The first round was off to a great start with plenty of fantastic scores from the guys who completed their rounds. Scott Jameson and Daniel Hillier set the pace at 7 under, with 4 players at 6 under, including Stephen Gallagher, Bob McIntyre and defending champion Ewan Ferguson. Jordan Smith and once upon a time big hitting Alvaro Quiros were at 3 under par with 9 holes to play when play was stopped due to inclement weather. Both returned to the course on Friday and Smith completed round 1 at 4 under and Quiros at 2 under. Round 2 and both made a jump up the leaderboard, with Quiros shooting a 6 under second round. Thomas Aiken and England's own Matt Wallace looked to have a round of the day, shooting 7 under and moved to the top of the leaderboard. But John Catlin shot a superb 9 under to guarantee he plays the weekend. Play was suspended though for poor light, with players returning early Saturday to complete round 2. A long Saturday took place and some fantastic golf occurred. Sadly, bad light curtailed the third round and some players now have a long Sunday ahead. Jorge Campillo had a 1 hole left to play and was currently leading at 16 under par. Sami Välimäki though had finished his third round and in at 15 under. Ryder Cup star Bob McIntyre was at 14 under and still had 2 holes to complete. There was a host of players at 13 under with Thomas Aiken still to finish. The stage was set for a great Sunday shootout. Sadly, this never really materialised. Sami Välimäki did make a late charge and Jorge Campillo did respond to force a playoff. Välimäki birdieing the first playoff hole meant he won the Commercial Bank Qatar Masters and earned his second DP World Tour title. Well played, Sammy. In next week's show, I will be covering this topic in more detail, but congratulations to Scott Jameson, who finished third and has secured his status for next season. Make sure you tune in next week to see who has secured their status and what the future holds for them that didn't make the number. The LPGA Tour was in Kuala Lumpur for the inaugural Maybank Championship, and it was a stellar field. I don't know about you, the viewer, but golf in Asia always looks relaxed and inviting with really good courses. I may need to take a trip. If you have played out in Asia, please let us know your thoughts either in the comments or on our Twitter page at TallGolfPar72. The first round was full of action and low scoring. It is not often that 6 under has you in a tie for 8th, 7 under in a tie for 3rd, and 8 under only good enough for 2nd. Hats off to Jasmine Suwanapura with a tremendous bogey-free round of 9 under par. As you know, on Monday Night Golf Night, we like to keep an eye on the phenomenal talent that is Rose Zhang, and it gives me great pleasure to say she got off to a good start. I was starting to think I was a bad omen, but Rose opened with a 7 under round. Our other highly mentioned smooth swinging favourite, Nelly Corda, opened with a 3 under round. Round 2 saw Suwanapura maintain her lead after a 3 under round, taking her to 12 under for the tournament. Rose Zhang moved up to second place at 11 under. Celine Boutier showed her class again with a 64 8 under, moving her to 10 under. The field was stacked though and made for a great weekend. Finally, Suwanapura relinquished her lead as she only managed a 5 under round. I'm pretty sure the majority of listeners would love to manage only a 5 under round, but it just highlights the quality on display. Attribution shot a round of the day 62, 10 under, to move alongside Unported. The lead though belonged to Rose Zhang after her 7 under 65 gave her a one-shot lead. Come on Rose, don't let me down. Wow, what a final round. They say tournaments are won on Sunday and the back nine is when the fun begins. I think they may need this changing after the final round today. Celine Boutier showed her class shooting in an 8 under 64 round to set the clubhouse target at 21 under. Unported could only manage a 2 under final round and our favourite Rose Zhang a 1 under, meaning both tied for third place. Every credit must go to Attribution, who needing birdie at the last, did so and forced a playoff with Boutier. Under that pressure, well played Attribution. The playoff was probably the strangest playoff I've certainly seen. Both players have the first playoff hole, and on the second, as Boutier played her shot, the hooter sounded for inclement weather. After about an hour's delay, both players returned to the course and continued to half holes for fun with birdies and pars. It wasn't until the 9th playoff hole when Boutier managed to get the win and her 4th win of the season. Well played, Miss Boutier. In case you were wondering, the longest playoff hole is 10 holes and happened in 1972. As you know, we here at Monday Night Golf Night love a good deal, and here are this week's. Deal 1. Lancashire Golf Academy have a big stock sale going on across their sites with numerous items of stock on sale at unbelievable prices. Well worth a visit. Deal 2. With the current British weather being worse than usual at times and different winter rules coming into effect now the clocks have changed, why not treat yourself to some sun and relaxation on the Costa del Sol at a 4-star hotel for 4 nights bed and breakfast and 3 rounds of golf for just £317. I would like to finish tonight by saying that I am not endorsed by any tour and have no preferred choice. I am a golfer who loves the game and wants to see it grow and prosper. I will always try and give an honest opinion that sees both sides of the argument. It is just extremely frustrating when politics and greed take over. As always, we hope you've enjoyed the show and please let us know your thoughts on it in the comments or on Twitter at TallGolfPar72. I will always do my best to respond promptly and your views help us improve the show. We have recently been very active on Instagram, and if you would like to keep up to date with sneak peeks for the channel, please ensure you follow us. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a thing. We have another hot review dropping Thursday that you do not want to miss. I have been your host, The Tall Golfer. Good night.